The survey results would indicate that the church, being the targeted audience, and the respondents' Christian faith makes them an outlier due to their responses given on particular questions. Unlike what is generally reported about millennials, the Christian millennials in this survey do believe that it is important to be well informed about the current news, and a majority get their news from traditional news outlets. Additionally, they do not have a strong allegiance to a particular political party or have extraordinarily strong partisan views. This may shed some light on the openness of their Christian faith and a priority on looking to God for direction and purpose before trusting in human influence. The 100% response rate that not all news information is accurate and true, and that politicians and political administrators use propaganda to advance their political agendas highlights their skepticism of others and aligns with what is being reported about them. Surprisingly, 33% of the respondents do not believe every word in the Bible is true. Is this more indicative of the skepticism of the millennial population? Does being connected to a church and embracing their Christian faith mean that they put less value in patriotism and nationalism or an allegiance to a political party? My recommendation is to examine and to test the theory on the power of faith and the church to determine how quintessential these components are in swaying human influence. Misinformation, which is found in fake news and propagandic messages, can distort public opinion and undermine the public policy making process. Giving attention to credible policy making, democratic values, and public trust is necessary to understand the effect of misinformation on political and administrative agendas. The research questions which guided the study were how misinformation affects Christian millennials in the policymaking process and to understand propaganda and how it endangers public trust. Credible policymaking is paramount to govern ethically. There is no credibility if misinformation that is used to justify a policy decision. Political propaganda has an effect on Christians when the Word of God are surpassed by partisan opinions and rhetoric. Those particularly vulnerable to its influence lack a principal understanding of what it means to be a Christian. Contrary to reports discussed in this study, respondents to my survey believe that it is important to be well informed, and majority get their news from traditional news outlets. Similarly, similar to earlier studies, respondents to my survey do not believe all news is accurate, and propaganda is used by policymakers to advance their agendas. A follow-up study is suggested to determine how the church and the Christian faith are a deterrent to propagandic messages and a tool to discern misinformation.